Hello fellow tabletop gamers, it's Angela here, Nerfenstein, and today we are going to pimp out one of the dice trays that we made in a previous video. These are really easy dice trays to make. You make them out of a picture frame. We're going to pimp them today and make them look like a book so that you can slide them into your bookshelf and it will look cool. If you've got a book that is the same width, you could just whip the pages out and wrap the cover around and in it goes, but we want to have a bit more fun. Now I've checked my materials and this is the stuff you'll actually need, which is slightly thinner foam than the regular Eva foam matting, but this is the only piece I've got left. This is usually what you would use, but I'm going to use some thicker regular floor matting today. And it's essentially a case of wrapping the dice box. So let's start. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to do the pages that you're going to see when it's on your shelf. This is slightly wider than this ruler, but I'm going to use it and just move it up a little. So you want the foam to be the same width as the frame that you're using. This is a curved frame. A flat frame would be better, but it won't matter once the foam's on. This is going to be glued around. Once that's done, I'm going to score in the pages, and you do that by just ruling it out and using your knife, cutting through but not all the way. So you want to cut through about 1 to 2 mil. It's just like that. So it's not all the way through, but you can see that it's cut. I'll do the rest in time lapse and come back. So that's it scored. Now what you want to do is hit it with a heat gun if you've got one. If you don't have one, hit it with a hairdryer on high temperature. And it should pull the foam away from itself. At the moment it's quite closed in. When we come back, it'll be away from itself. So this is what you should end up with. And it will act as our pages once we've glued it on. Okay, the next part is the part that you see in old books where it is actually sewn onto the spine. That's what we're going to do next. Again, you just need a piece of foam. This piece will be thinner. So just craft foam, you get it from your craft hobby stores. And cut it slightly longer than the box that you're working with. Get some glue, get one edge, and just curl it over a little, maybe 1 centimeter. You don't actually have to do this part. I like to do it just for aesthetics, so it looks more like an old book. You should end up with a little bit of a loop on the end like that, just so it's bunched up a little, because that's what they look like. Okay, so when you're done, it needs to sit just above where your pages are, like on an old book. So like this. Slightly over where they are. The fun thing about doing these yourself out of foam rather than just putting a hardcover book over the front of it is you can do anything you want, as we will get to shortly when we are decorating the front of the book. As far as I can tell, no one else has done this, so it is my idea. So if you use it, I would love a little shout out, because I'm struggling with my page getting word out because I hate pimping myself out. So a little bit of a spruik for me if you use this idea would be freaking awesome. I'd really appreciate that. So there's our pages on. Let's give you an idea of what it will look like. We will be gluing the back on once we've done the cover. And this will come over it, but it will have a hole where the dice tray is. So it will look like a book from this side. Flip it over. Cool dice tray. As I say, this is the stuff you should be using, the thinner stuff. But I don't have any, sadly, so this is going to be one chunky little tome when it's finished. I'm going to take the tray out so the felt doesn't get damaged by any glue or anything. So next up, this bit here, if you have got the soldering iron, like I said, use that. That's what I'm going to use. And you're just going to mark little marks into it as though it's being bound by cotton. If you don't have that, just push something a little bit of a width in. So say these scissors, for example. Just push them in and it'll give you the same effect anyway. And then puff it out and you should get that little mark there. Okay, I'm going to go and melt this and come back. Here we go. It's like little teeth marks. It'll look better when it's painted. And then glue that on there. I'm watching Rebecca and Hunter over here, but I can't put the volume on obviously because it'll interfere. Watching their top 10 or top 100, top 10 of their top 100. Here we go. Not gonna lie guys, I'm devastated I don't have this thinner stuff. This would look a lot better, but persevere for the video. So it's the floor matting, you know, the stuff you put on your kids' playroom floor or your garage or whatever comes with these. It's gonna be a chunky little guy. So you wanna measure just above where your pages are, even a little bigger because it's gonna be so chunky. So place it in however big you want your cover to be. Get your pen and draw around here. Executive decision, I've decided I'm going to put pages on the inside. I don't like that it doesn't look like it has pages on the inside, so I'm just going to quickly do that now. You don't need to do that, that's just me being fussy. Fussy pants. Now if you like the clank of your dice hitting the side when you throw them, don't do this because it's just going to dampen it once it's in. I'm going to hit this with a heat gun just so it bends more easily. If it was the thin stuff you wouldn't have to do that, but this is really sturdy. Pages inside pages. And that is ready to undercoat and paint. It's easy to paint them separate so that you don't get the white of the pages onto your cover. I'm going to go and undercoat this and then we'll come back and work on this. Okay, I've printed out some things just to decorate our book cover. I've gone with sort of an Arkham thing and some nice little corners. You can buy corners, but that's cheating. These are little metal corners that you can buy and you can pop them on like that. But you can do that if you want to. I'm going to do it all in foam. So I'm going to cut one of these out as a little stencil. All right, grab some craft foam, draw around it. There we go. Okay, I've cut all the extra bits out and I have sprayed this in black plasti dip. You can just use black spray enamel or black acrylic. And these are all the bits that you need, so I'm just going to pop them to the side. I've also brought over my little furniture tacks. You don't have to do this. The cool thing about something like this is do what you like. Just start gluing bits and see where you go. So my thought is this going to be the back and not the front, just so that we can give it a nice front. And I'm going to use the elder sign. You could do anything, literally anything. You could do words, you could do a logo, you could do your own logo. I'm just going to start gluing these on. I'll do it in time lapse so you're not completely bored. It's just gluing all the foam bits on that we have cut out, including these little corner pieces here. Time to do a little painting. I'm painting them separate just so that it's easier when we glue them together. These just across like that. I'm not doing it white because I looked online and a lot of antique books are kind of a tanny color, so I'll probably hit it with a little bit of white, but it won't be white. There you go. Hopefully you can see the pages and the binding starting to come out. I'll speed it up so you're not totally bored. Okay, here we go. The inside is painted. Just need to paint the outside now and then glue it together. Boom. Dice box. Obviously remember to put your felt back in. Should look pretty cool. Just going to take this outside and give it a
There's a box quote.
Plasti dip. Sorry, I've got a YouTube video on. I'm just going to take this out and give it a plasti dip run and bring it back in and we'll paint it. The other bit's outside drying in the rain and we're just going to do some little colours on here. I think I'm going to go red and white. You'll see that I'm doing them all white. That's just so the red pops when I put it on. Hey everyone, I'm hoping my aircon isn't too annoying the next bit of this video because I'm dying in here, so I've had to put it on. This is the bit that we worked on last time from memory. It's the inside of the book, so it should look like this, roughly. If you're taking your time, add more pages so they don't look quite so thick. It'll look better in the end. And I have plasti dipped the cover, which looks like this. Gone with the elder sign. I'm about to paint this. I'm just going to quickly brush it over with some brown, give it that sort of old leather look. But you can see when it goes together, it'll slide in like that. And it looks like an old tome. I'll do this in time lapse. It is literally getting the brush, brown paint, smashing it out. Okay, there's the first layer of brown. I'm going to lighten that up a little bit so it's just a little bit of a lighter brown and go over it again, but not covering the entire thing, so leaving bits. It gives it a sort of an antique look. Time for some gold. I'm just going to do these bits gold. Take them off, run the brush over them. Again, that's just with acrylic paint. There we go, that's the top done. So that's where the dice tray is going to sit. You can neaten it up, but I'm obviously rushing it quite a bit to get the video up. Just got to do these and then the elder sign. I won't bore you with doing these. It's exactly the same as what I did on this side. On the gold bits, I'm now going to do the symbol on the front. I was going to redo this in red and do that red, but I've just decided to go with blue and see what it looks like so that the symbol matches the actual dice tray. So I'm just going to start with some dark blue and then hit it with a tiny bit of light blue. It is super easy. Once you've taped it all off like this, just doing this. Anyone can do it. There we are, that's the cover of your dice box done. Obviously, the longer that you take to do it, the neater it will be. But as a quick job, that's not too bad. You might do those as well. I might do those in blue before I take the final photos. And we just need to glue it together now. So you want to glue this side first, just to ensure that it is level with the hole that you created at the beginning. So I'm just going to do that now. I'll time lapse it so that you're not completely bored. I'm just going to run some super glue around and push this down. And there we have our dice box. You can see that I totally messed up there. I think I put my thumb in the blue paint and now I need to fix it. Oh! Oh! Oh well, not to worry. So there we go. It's a little bit deeper than I would have liked. I think I did say at the start of the video I didn't have the correct thickness of foam. So when you do yours, you can either do it really chunky like this, or you can use the thinner stuff. Probably look a little bit better with the thinner stuff. But that'll look pretty cool on your shelf. Pull it out. Dice tray. I'll fix this and take some photos with over there where the light is better, and I'll pop them up after this. If you've got any questions or anything, hit the comments. I'm hoping that this showed you easily how to do this yourself. It's a super simple thing, and as I say, I did come up with this idea myself, so if you use it, it'd be awesome if you gave me a mention, because I'm trying to build up my audience. Also of note, you can see that the brass bits or the gold bits that I've done, are all different sizes when I put them on. If you take your time and measure, it will look a lot neater than this with them all being the same. And if you happen to be in America and have an awesome craft store like Michael's, you can probably buy these and you won't need to make them in foam, and then they will all be the same size. I hope you've liked this Pimp My Dice Tray tutorial. I'll see you on the next Pimp My Game. Nerfenstein out.